Greetings Earthlings. Before you can see all the equipment I use to film, edit and vlog my Pacific Crest Trail through hike. So I'll just give you a quick overview of what everything is and then I'll get into everything in more detail. So top left, GoPro Hero 10, sat on top of a GoPro Shorty tripod selfie stick, 4 Ultra GoPro batteries, 1 Anker 10,000 power pack, double GoPro battery charger, wall charger, 2 ports, USB-C, various cables for that. This is the dongle for reading memory cards to transfer footage from the GoPro to my phone. Down here we have my glasses. I've just added those in because they were vital for me for video editing close-up on my phone. The only thing not seen here is my phone, which I'm filming on now, which is an iPhone 13. Also, the macro lens is missing. The macro lens I use for really close-up video. I don't actually know where that is, but we'll get into that anyway. So here is my iPhone 13. I've got it on a case made by Sandmarc. If you turn it over, you can see this is where the macro lens would screw on to the case, which makes it really stable and really easy to focus. You can select which camera you want to screw it onto. So that case is from Sandmarc. Let's have a look at their phone. Their iPhone is very handy to use if I wasn't using my GoPro and if I wanted to shoot some low light, which I didn't much, but it's excellent. As it's on its own, you could vlog the trail very well with an iPhone. Let me just show you all the apps I used. So here I have one folder just full of everything I use for vlogging. Obviously you got the YouTube app there. YT Studio is the YouTuber's way of managing all your content on the YouTube platform. Canva is where I make thumbnails. GoPro Quick is the GoPro's the GoPro app. It's got loads of great features on there. I'll go through that in a little bit. LumaFusion is my editor. That's how I edit my video on the phone. Lightroom is where I make adjustments to photos for my thumbnails. Rumble, I don't use that. Experiment. That's another video platform. I've uploaded videos to it. It's not great. So those are all the apps I use. So the GoPro Hero Black 10. There's actually an 11 out at the moment. I won't be upgrading until I need to. This one, the 10, is still running really great. If you're going to get a GoPro, don't get anything below the 10 because the graphical user interface is very clunky. On the 10 and the 11 though, it's just like using your iPhone. It's very responsive. It's really great. Why use a GoPro? Many people will tell you not to take one on trail, that you won't use it, you use your phone or take an SLR camera. And although there's compromises with a GoPro, what it brings for an active wilderness trail, I mean, they're made for the outdoors. They're made to be in that environment. I mean, sat on my shoulder strap the whole time, never left there. It got baked, it got frozen, it got dropped. I jumped in rivers and creeks and lakes with it. It shoots 4K video. It's got 2 internal microphones. By the way, don't buy the media mods for the microphones as they don't work as well as the 2 native microphones. The stabilization and the horizon leveling just keep your composition really intact. Not as good as having a full-size tripod, I guess, but there are compromises you make with bringing a GoPro, and for an on-trail edited, filmed, shot and edited on-trail, I don't think there's anything better. Managing your clip size, if you just shoot 5 to 7 seconds, unless you're doing big panoramas or you're talking to the camera, then the files are really manageable, small, they can be moved around, they can be edited, and you don't lose clips. A lot of people complain with GoPros you lose clips. I've never had that problem, never. I don't think I've lost a single clip. The only time it failed me, the camera itself, was in 42-degree heat, which I think is like over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It was sat on my shoulder strap, and it was just getting boiled all day. It would just get roasted, and it failed. It overheated. The batteries, the Enduro batteries. These are the new batteries from GoPro. They last 20% longer. Well, they say 20% longer. And they do not fail in the heat or the cold. And I woke up some mornings with water frozen in my water bottles, couldn't get into my shoes because they were frozen solid, but the GoPro turned on. GoPro turned on and worked. It's pretty amazing, really. So I'll just briefly show you the interface on it. You've got video, time-lapse, and photos. Then you've got further presets where you can adjust all the settings for different, also all the settings for your camera on for different environments or lighting conditions or movement conditions. I always have my main setting is there. It says standard 4K 30 frames a second. The L means linear, which means the width of the shot doesn't distort at the edges if it was just on widescreen. You've got your power, you've got your capacity left on your card, tells you what mode it's in, and then you've got shortcuts here if you want to change, say, your white balance. You can adjust that. So you pick the shortcuts that you need. So like I say, the actual interface on this is way better than previous versions. Previous versions were so clunky and so unresponsive, it was frustrating to use. But this is great now, it's so good. Now the big plus on the GoPro, I found this is such an advantage of it, is the quick play button on the top. Let me just turn you over. Let me just see if it'll focus on that. So that button there, so the camera was always on my shoulder, always facing down the trail. I could just push that button, it would turn the GoPro on and automatically start filming at my preferred settings. And then if I just pressed again, it would just shut down completely and be off. So it's so handy getting trail shots, walking shots, and anything that was to suddenly happen on trail, I could just quickly go to it, turn it on and catch it, catch whatever I wanted, like deer or anything like that that you really needed to. It was so useful, so useful. That's such a good feature. So you can see also there's a front screen which helps you when you're in selfie mode, helps you see if you're in frame. It's quite small, that screen, quite hard to see when you're selfieing, to be honest, but you can. For me, my eyesight isn't good close up. I've got glasses, as you can see. That option can be turned off to save battery anyway. Now I found taking 4 Enduro batteries lasted me a good 5 to 7 stretch between towns before I had to recharge. So that was kind of perfect. I started off with 3, and 3 would be fine actually, but I got an extra one because I wanted to take more time lapses, which didn't actually pan out in the end, but I didn't take as many time lapses as I would have liked. But that 4th one would have, really, because you leave the camera on for quite a while when you're shooting time lapses. So 4 batteries was perfect. could have got away with 3, to be honest. There were a couple of times I left the GoPro on by accident and it would just film for half an hour, and that really drained my battery, so that 4th one was really handy to keep. I'll just show you in the settings. So if I tap on that and I want to change my settings, another good thing about this is you can edit there, look. So here's all your options. I mean, this is opening a complete can of worms. I'm not going to go into any of this here. But one of the good things is here on colour, your options are vibrant, natural, flat. So you've got 3 really good presets for the way it will shoot your videos for you. If you shoot in flat, that'll collect all the information that's coming into the chip, be a huge file, and then basically you can go and into your editor and you can color correct and alter the colors to how you would like them or how you remember them on the trail, or take it to complete fantasy world if you wanted. Now the natural and vibrant are really good settings for outdoors. You don't really have to do much to them, so it's very handy if you're editing on trail, because you don't really want to color correct while you're on trail if you're editing on trail. If you were, for instance, filming the whole trail and then coming home to edit films and put them, upload them that way, then maybe it's worth shooting in flat and color correcting everything you do after. But if you're editing on trail, capturing in natural or vibrant, I kept it on natural, just seemed to be such a good option for general all-purpose filming in all conditions. So really good presets there. I mean, all the presets are really helpful. Such a cool little device. Okay, the other good thing about GoPros are, if you subscribe to GoPro.com, anything you have, the warranty is amazing. Anything that happens to your camera, they'll replace it for you. I didn't have to, which was amazing. It took such a battering, this camera, really did. But if you've got a problem, GoPro will replace it for you. So that's, plus you get good discounts on accessories, things like that, which I think is a really good deal. I can't remember how much it is actually. It's maybe like, it's either 35 or 55 a year. But for me, it's really worth it, buying batteries, lenses, that sort of thing. Okay, so you can see that the camera is attached to a tripod here. This is the GoPro Shorty, made by GoPro. It's also a selfie stick. So that was how I would talk to myself, talk to you guys, talk to the camera on trail, just holding it away from me like that. I used the tripod then for placing it on the ground and walking back and forth over it, so I could do walk away shots, that sort of thing. Really good. The only drawback with the Shorty is you can't really swivel you can go backwards and forwards, but you can't really swivel on this sort of axis to level out. But auto leveling in your settings helps with that. You can get an attachment, a ball head attachment, which I might get actually. That might be quite handy, because you've never got a flat surface when you're filming. It's always like that, or like that, or it's trying to fall over like that. But yeah, this is another good compromise, of course. You can get things like the Gorilla Pod tripods. I don't really get on with them, but this was sort of perfect for me, I found. And also, the diameter of this is perfect for going into shoulder straps on backpacks. So just to recap on the cons really, because that's quite important. The main one really is that it's not very good in low light. I mean, you can do some adjustments in the settings to compensate for that, but even then it's still not great. But if you've got your phone with you, The iPhone is really good in low light video, really good. You can take some good stuff in early mornings, evenings, and even at night. Clips. Now, I've never had this problem, so I don't know why I should include this really, but a lot of people say they lose clips. Didn't have that problem at all. It might have been that I was managing my clip size really well or something, but just not had that problem. Just make sure you format your memory card. And overall, yeah, it's a compromise. You could take an SLR, you could use your iPhone, and you'd have higher quality footage. You'd have better sound. You could have a little lavalier mic. You'd get better voice recording. But the overall package, in my opinion, is better for vlogging than if you're carrying an SLR or you're using your phone. Your phone, you can't jump in a lake with either of those two. You can't have them attached to your pack in all weathers. You've got to really concentrate on keeping them clean and looking after them. There's one shot that Jeremy took, I remember Jeremy, and he sneaked up to a creek and he lowered the GoPro into the water and he caught some trout swimming against the flow. It was brilliant. You wouldn't be able to do that with those cameras. You know, I used to run down piers and jump into lakes. So good, so good. It's an action camera, it's great. So it's a compromise, but if you are filming and editing on trail as an on-trail endeavour, you're uploading at 1080p anyway for YouTube. You don't need, I mean, I shot in 4K, so I've got all my footage in 4K if I need it, but I uploaded in 1080p for YouTube. So for me, it's perfect. I think it's just the perfect device for vlogging. All right. So once you've shot your video, you then want to get the files off the GoPro and onto your phone so you can edit a video. To do this, I would take my memory card. This is a 64 gig SanDisk. I would put it in this SanDisk holder, and then I would use this memory card reader to Lightning dongle. Put that in there. I would then connect it to my iPhone. Then what you can do, if you go to photos, albums, then if you see down here on the right, that's focusing here, you've got an import button, and then that will take you into your memory card, and you can select what you need to download onto the phone. Okay, so let's talk about video editing. I use software called LumaFusion. You can use the editor that comes on your iPhone. There are other free apps which are quite good. You can quite easily make good films on, but LumaFusion is a lot more advanced. It's also paid for, and I think at the moment it's £25, which is about $25 too. For me, it's worth it. I make a lot of films, I make a lot of videos, not just vlogging the trail, and the features on it are just fantastic. So I'll just briefly go through some of the features. So this is your timeline. This is the video some of the video I've just shot. Here are some of the settings for your timeline. This is where you get all your media from over here. And obviously here's your preview pane. Okay, so you can start a new project quite easily. And then I go into videos, and I can then, when it loads, drop clips onto the timeline. Oh, that's typical, isn't it? Oh, there we go. So let's find some hiking ones. You can adjust all the pane sizes Sorry, I'm rushing because you can adjust. So let me drop a few videos in now. So let's pick that one, select multiple clips, that one, that one, that one, and then you just drop them into the timeline like that. So you can adjust the size and view of your timeline so you can see all your clips up as one project like that. So there's the 4 clips I added. You can do various, you've actually got 2 video timelines, so let's say I can put this one up here on the secondary timeline. You can separate your audio from video. There we go, that's all separated. And obviously you can drop in music if you want. I don't think I've got any on here at the moment. Let's have a quick look. Imported files app. Oh, there's one. Let's try that. There's a Scott Buckley tune. I can drop that in. There we are. I've got some audio on there like that. So you can see it's pretty intuitive and it's pretty clever, and it's all on your phone. So also then you've got various ways of manipulating your clips. So let's, for example, let's have a look at this one. If I double click on that, then I've got the option down here then of crop in and fit in to scale into the video, or you can do it over here with these various settings. Let's back out of that. Let's go back to where we were. So you can undo all your errors. Then you've got time. You can slow the clip down, speed it up, whatever you like to do. Then you've also got, let's get back in there. What have you got? You can manipulate sound clips, turn them on and off, pan them left or right, graphic equalizer. Then finally, and this is fantastic, you have color correction. So you've got presets you can use. So I can make that more contrasty, super contrasty. Gee, that's not actually doing anything, is it? Color and effects, original. Alright, so if I just go to original, alright, it really doesn't want to do anything, does it? Let's pick another clip. Original. Right, so there we go, you can see the sort of differences, the sort of adjustments and editing, color editing you can make. Because obviously the GoPro and your phone interprets what it sees according to its own internal settings. I'll just show you some of the presets. We can just delete that one. Contrast. So obviously what you're filming isn't necessarily what you're seeing with your eyes. Your eyes and your brain are interpreting colours in their way as well. So you can boost or improve or exaggerate colours, or you can try and get it to how you remember it. You can create complete fantasy world if you want. It's very clever. I like to try and get back to where I remembered things, but I know that my brain quite likes to see contrasty kind of images, so I didn't do much editing, color correction on the trail. It was too much work, and I feel like the natural and vibrant settings on the GoPro work really well anyway. I did sometimes make little zooms. So for instance, let's look at this clip. You can animate this clip by adding a marker there. I can't remember what you call those markers. So another couple of things you can do. You can add transitions. Let's have a look. Can I get one on here? So that'll just fade that clip into that one. And you can adjust the duration and qualities of them as well. So like you fade two clips into each other. You can cut, you can trim, you can reverse your decisions. You can cut, copy, paste clips. You can use these settings over here to adjust visibility or lock, or adjust the relative opacity and sound levels of each track. So you've got two video tracks, two sound tracks. So really it's just fantastic. It's such a good app. And then when it's time to export, you export to your phone, photos, and then you've got various settings in here of how you want to create your video, finished video, to upload to YouTube. So for instance, that's set to 4K, 30 frames a second, and extreme video quality. I won't go into all that. I mean, this is opening a can of worms again. But you see, you can change then to, like I would normally export in 1080p. So that is LumaFusion. Highly recommend it. Unfortunately, it's only available for iPhone at the moment. I think they're working on versions for other phones, and I have no idea when they'll be out. But if you're an iPhone user, LumaFusion is amazing. But you got to pay for it. It's $25 to $30, something like that. So that's pretty much it, really. The GoPro app, the actual native app you have on your phone, is quite also good for taking screenshots, but they're grabs, they're high quality frame grabs of your footage, and they're great for taking. I never used the photo option on the GoPro. I always just took frames out of the video, and they're great. So you can just capture just such good moments of action in your video. And from there on, also obviously you can upload to Insta, but you can also take it then into Lightroom. I would take them into Lightroom and I would adjust the colours in there. I would make them a bit more garish and a bit more stand out if I was making them for thumbnails. I would then import those images into Canva on my phone, where I'd add the Pacific Crest Trail logo and the photo onto a thumbnail-sized template and download that to the phone, and that will be my thumbnail for the video. I can show you how to do that if you want me to. Let me know in the comments. I'll make another quick video. It's really simple. You can also on LumaFusion take really high quality frame grabs, which is kind of the same thing. LumaFusion's great. So I think, overall, combination of GoPro, LumaFusion and your iPhone, you can really do a great job. But like I say, it's all a big compromise. It's a compromise if you take an SLR, because you can't jump in a lake with it. You can't just leave it on your bag when it's raining. Yeah, any questions? Ask me in the comments below, and of course, I'll answer them. I try to answer everything. All right, so I guess gear video to come and tent review. All right.